we return. The return of Juarez. But yeah, as I was saying...
The Justice Department claims that their special interagency task force was not involved in the gun battle that took place yesterday in the ruins of an old fort just across the border in Juarez, Mexico. The task force is, however, aiding the Mexican Federal Police in their investigation. Local officials are refusing to comment, but witnesses at the scene have reported dozens of dead bodies, burned out cars, and the wreckage of an 18-wheel semi-truck with Texas license plates.
So in other words, a drug war. And that's the thing, it's like, huh, these are unrelated,
Check your
right?
weapons and ammo. We're going in.
I love that. They're just using the news and all this other shit to show that's like, yeah, this ain't unrelated. But also...
Let's go. We gotta move.
You fucking hear out there, they're shooting each other. Bells ringing. This is how you fucking do a hub area. Also, if you want your PlayStation 2 graphics, there you go. You look through the window, they become PlayStation 2. Not really much better, huh? Turns into fucking Toy Story Land.
Fuck! I'll give you the signal.
They know we're coming in. They're waiting for us.
So
but as I was saying in like the last part, is it's mostly like the problem is just people doing this shit to themselves. And the reason why I go back to these games is not to, you know, like I say, not to wallow in my misery, but because there's not really anything interesting going forward. There's nothing for me.
For us.
FBI! Stop!
Oh fuck, they're teaming up. We gotta get them out. We gotta get a Hummer. Get a car. Take this one. Oh yeah.
Oh, that pendejo's really starting to piss me off, man.
Just
Don't
fucking
let him
sitting
get
there.
away. Go, go, go!
Let's
Over
get him.
here, move it!
Hey, don't shoot, don't shoot.
That was Alvarez in that car.
I knew that puto couldn't be trusted.
What's that fucker up to?
No fucking
Find out.
good, that's for damn sure.
Take him off the road.
You made a mistake, you son of a bitch.
They're leaving town. Where they going?
It doesn't matter, he's as good as dead.
Shoot
We
the
need
tires.
him alive. With Duke on, we need his testimony.
I wasn't talking about him.
Ahead!
Gotta get him. Oh, that's smart. There we go. Would be nice if my partners here could actually kill the guys in the trucks or their Hummers. Oh shit, he went flying. But yeah, maturity and oftentimes like the lack of moderation these people have, it's just stupid. I think as Ross Scott said, you know, I wholeheartedly agree. We're not living in the worst timeline. We're definitely living in the stupidest one. And there was this story about an eagle and chickens that I was talking about in the last part. It's, you know, I think it's fairly relevant seeing how so many people do this to themselves thanks to the shitty technology they use. They convince themselves that they are a chicken when they could be soaring in the sky like an eagle. Games like these make you feel alive. Games like fucking Overwatch 2 make you feel dead because you know it's not real. You know you can't be there. You know there's nothing for you there.
Look! Don't lose him!
You know that in truth, if you're just killing people anyway, how is that really any different than what you're doing here? It isn't. The only thing that is different is the characters are cartoonish. They try to pretend that they're not what they are.
A train!
But you know.
Man, this ain't our motherfucking day.
We won't hold it!
Shit.
Stay with us. We don't want to
Damn it. Gotta move. Come on, train.
They're gonna get away, man. He's getting
No,
away.
they're not.
He turned left. And you see? He's driving along the track.
Those fucks are not getting away!
There's no motherfucking road here.
I don't
None
give a
needed.
shit!
Exactly.
Don't lose them. Shit, they're shooting at us.
They most certainly are. Shoot back.
Ahead.
There's a tunnel ahead.
Across the tracks.
Oh, I'd love to go across the tracks if the car didn't fucking bump into me. Don't miss the train.
He's looking for someplace to hide.
You ain't gonna get it.
Trying to lure us into a goddamn trap. Those fucks are not getting away. Hey, it's the wrong fucking road here. It's a trap. They're everywhere. Into the building. He turned left. Stop. Nice try, you sly motherfucker.
He ran into the building. Follow him.
Where's Alvarez?
Go follow him, you know?
Don't
Gotta
let
go
him
get
get away.
Alvarez.
According to our GPS tracking, you and your phone are right outside Juarez. If you can get your hands on Mendoza's PDA, that would be quite a coup. What do you say, McCall? We might learn everything we need to know.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Alvarez? Can you see Alvarez? Ben, we need Mendoza. I am not letting that son of a bitch slip away again. Fuck him, Ben.
Got him. Not letting that money slip away either. Oh, I'm max level, so I don't even need to bother. Need to get the secret agenda thing if possible, but
Police on the ground.
oh, they're pissing. But yeah, just like, you know, I'll get these, like, you know, videos with black and red text often. They'll have people who are pissed off at these new games, but it's like in function, yeah. Dude, if you're just fucking playing an Xbox 360 game, why would you settle for this cheap cartoon shit made by a Chinese guy who doesn't even understand the source material? Why would you make the, you know, why would you play this dumb bullshit made by a person who's more concerned with what gender they are today as opposed to making a complete working and fun, fulfilling game? They make it seem like it's an ultimatum, like you can't have these things together. That's a load of horse shit, because Metal Gear Solid exists. That game was doing a lot of this shit well and truly before a lot of people are now. There were absolutely tons of games that had gay people, lesbians, transgender people, and whoever the fuck else. Did they shove it in your face and make it a big point to make you aware of it? No, because they didn't treat it like it was abnormal. They just treated it like it was fine, because it is. Like, okay, I don't care what you do with your crotch. You know, they didn't shove it in your fucking face. That's the problem, is they shove this in your face while you're constantly reminded of a game like this. While you're constantly reminded of some shit that's more complete, that's more fun. That doesn't give a fuck about stupid, arbitrary bullshit censorship. That doesn't, you know, feel like it lacks a soul. So many people will call it soulless. But then they'll just copy-paste the same complaining bullshit over and over and over again instead of actually doing something about it, which ultimately seems soulless in itself. You see how this is a negative cycle that ultimately becomes unrewarding? It's like you're fucking locked in the Matrix. These people who say they know better can't do better, but then you know better, but if they try to conceal and hide and obfuscate the tools to then do better for their own gain, to make some sort of, you know, fucking PowerPoint presentation, quite literally, to feel powerful, well, isn't that fucking neutralizing the entire benefit of doing this sort of thing in the first place and stooping down to the levels of the people you say you don't like? I don't fucking care about power and fucking fame on YouTube. Well, fame on the internet? Oh yeah, that's real rewarding. No, it's not. What do you get for fame on the internet? You get forgotten, you get hated. People who get famous online don't get to live a normal life. They get to feel like garbage. They get forgotten if they're lucky. Remembered for something that, you know, they did 10 years ago and hated for it if they're not.
Do you see anybody moving?
PewDiePie is a great example of this. This guy started out as just a gaming YouTube channel. He eventually devolved into changing YouTube history for the worse.
Over there. He ran into the
He made
cantina.
edgy jokes that eventually devolved into people taking advantage of that and using it as a means to then spread bullshit lies, misinformation, and propaganda, then to conceal anything that was normal, anything that was based in reality, anything that was mature, to protect you from yourself, to protect you from having fun.
Didn't think they'd ever
You're not
stop
allowed to
fucking
shoot
coming.
watermelons because they'll find some reason to call it racist. You're not allowed to shoot fruit in a video game. You're not allowed to have physics in a video game because they'll find some way to call it offensive. It offends people who can't wake up in the morning and do their fucking job when they want to sell you a cheeseburger or a video game. You know, it's like strapping a stick of dynamite to a soda pop or trying to justify why you've put C4 on a chocolate bar. There is no justification for this dumb bullshit. It's not required for me to live to have a candy bar or a soda pop, but I like having them. I'm not saying I need these things to survive. I'm saying I enjoy them and I don't want them to be of poor quality. And I certainly don't want this to be ruined and dragged down to a level that is unacceptable.
Get ready.
Because some other people couldn't fucking keep their emotions in check. They knew better and decided that instead of doing better, they would just drag everything down with them.
Everybody down.
They didn't care what it took. They didn't care what it cost.
Guess everybody's on the payroll.
Dying ain't no way to make a living.
What's abnormal is shoving this shit into people's faces where it doesn't belong. What would be abnormal is if this game, right, they shove a bunch of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory in my face. Not because it matters to the story, for fuck's sake. Not because it's important to the story, not because it even matters, not because it's even good in their eyes. They don't even care about it. They just decided they wanted to do it one day. Right? They want to shove this in their face because they've been paid off by people with business interests like, you know, Vanguard or BlackRock, which very publicly have done this. There's all kinds of information about how they have very publicly done this to spread propaganda, to change culture, to change behavior. It's a psyop, very publicly. And who's responsible for most of this, you know, gender bullshit that gets put into these games? Well, it's an old white dude in a business suit, trying to change culture and attitude so people can't, you know, think without being affected by this bullshit.
Guess everybody's on the payroll.
These things aren't related, but naturally, they paid a lot of money to make it seem like they are.
These assholes are really pissing me off.
If you pay a lot of money to say some bullshit and obfuscate anyone who says any different, well then naturally, of course, whoever says the thing the loudest, the fastest, like an immature child just rambling off a bunch of nonsense, is going to win. That's the reason why a game like Fortnite or Destiny is so successful, and a game like Halo is simply not. Especially when Microsoft tried to make a half-assed, cobbled-together bullshit version of it that isn't any good. I'll tell you immediately why Halo Infinite isn't a good game. It just doesn't fucking run well on most computers, especially the Xbox One of all things. Your premier console, this thing doesn't even look good and run good. It's an embarrassment. Meanwhile, something like Halo 5 at least ran well. It looked good. It might have lacked in personality. It might have looked like just generic Mass Effect, but it functioned. It worked. I mean, it was bereft of content for sure. But by the time they had completed the game, nobody gave a shit. And those who did were subsequently punished with the release of Halo Infinite, totally fucking up the entirety of the enjoyment they could have had with it. It was an unfinished, sloppy, somehow even more content-bereft game than what had came before it. And they just, the people who fucked it up sat on a couch and just said, yeah, we fucked it up, we're not doing anything about it. We're going to pretend like this is okay, and you're going to just suck it up and accept it, right? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. People did. That's the pathetic part about it, is they just fucking went to it. They knew it was wrong, they knew it was dumb, and they knew it was bad. That's why they did it. They didn't care.
Damn! He's here somewhere.
If they cared about doing what was right, well, wouldn't be too hard to just, you know, fucking make a game in the same amount of time that they would normally. If they'd just done something like this. I mean, hell, how many polygons do you think it takes to make that beer crate? I'd say not very many. I imagine like 200-300 tops, maybe 600. It's not a particularly high poly model, but you add some modern lighting, you would be shocked as to how well it could work. You wouldn't have to do very much work to make this shit look good with new lighting. Turns out this sort of shit runs really well with new lighting.
FBI!
Keep your head down. Leave some for us. Gun.
They all get down too. Civilians are scared for their lives. Is this game telling you to go shoot civilians? No. The later. They have puns and other shit too.
Ahead. Shoot, goddammit.
There's also this nice, like, you know, halfway between an iPhone 5 and an Android phone. You know, there were some fake phones that'd be like that.
Right!
Hell, I've known phones, I've seen phones that look like that before. Relevant shit for the time. Phones in 2011 totally looked like that.
Behind!
It's also relating to the objective I have here. I need to take his phone.
Got that bitch.
And that phone's over there. And I have to do it behind the backs of these two. So while I'm attempting to fucking get this shit right. There we go. But Halo 5 is a game I still enjoyed, mostly because of the amount of content it had. It was very rewarding. Nice. Gotcha. Dropped his phone. Got him. Time to make a run for that. They would just justify this with, not, you know, unrelated bullshit. Like, oh, how many Mexicans have we helped today with, you know, Star Wars or something? How is that related to Star Wars? Oh, well, it's what it's based off of, right? I don't really give a fuck about what the prequels are based off of. I just care about, like, you know, the original trilogy. Oh, well, the original trilogy is based off of Vietnam. Well, sort of. I guess a little bit here and there, but they would just say, no, it's all based off of Vietnam. No, the Rebels were based off of Vietnam, from what I remember correctly, but, you know, that's not to say the entirety of Star Wars was the fucking Rebels. It was also the Empire, it was the Sith, it was the banter between the light, you know, the light side and the dark side, how these two forces don't get along, and ultimately their disagreements lead to wars and shit, right? How the Jedi became bureaucratic, lazy, and, you know, complacent, and how Sidious took over so easily was because he militarized and weaponized the people against the Jedi. He stirred up the pot, started throwing in wars and making the Republic seem incompetent, to then consolidate power to the Empire, which a lot of people liked until Episode 5 in the timeline,
Nice
because
shot,
the
Holmes.
Empire was looking out for him.
Didn't think they'd
The
ever stop
Empire
fucking coming.
started out as just helping people get jobs and employment, which is why so many people were like, okay, well, I'll overlook a few planets disappearing or something if I get the benefits of that. But that's the problem with dictatorships. That's not how they work. It's the same shit with Xbox One.
Get behind something!
The dictatorship is always going to collapse in on itself because people are power-hungry, greedy assholes. That's the way they work. If you think that you're indispensable, believe me, you are not. We thought that this shit would last forever. We found out the hard way they would do everything in our power to make us look like assholes and bad guys. We found out pretty damn quickly that they would try to vilify us for just being, wanting to play a video game. That's what it is. They know that people are lazy, and oftentimes
You won't get away this time, motherfucker.
will just justify something with the most easy answer. They won't look into it. They'll just trust whatever they're told, the first result on Google, even if that result is a load of horse shit. Well, Google knows that. They take advantage of that shit. They know that all of this shit is going to seem unrelated, so they won't look into it. They know that people will say some totally unrelated bullshit confidently, and then that'll seemingly justify what it is. It's just a bunch of jargon. It's a bunch of horse shit. The real answer is about fucking control. Making sure you don't have any. The real answer is about consolidating power away from you even if you like this shit. It doesn't matter, even if you give in to their demands. You give in to their ideas, their limited, very restricted, narrow views of how these things should be.
What's he doing?
They don't care.
Where's he going? Straight to hell.
Jesus Christ, man, get a grip!
We gotta take them to hell.
Behind!
I like how I can fly in this shit. It's really fun. Even if this shit's glitchy or goofy, I don't really give a fuck. That adds to the charm the way I see it. I know this is a video game. They're fucking dragging some bloodstain. I love it.
Floor it.
Oh, I am.
Break.
Shit. There we go. Awesome. They never suspected a thing. But ultimately, I think Black Ops 3, they said it best, right? It was always about control. That's what it's about. Dictatorships ultimately collapse in on itself, you know? They deny that sort of part. They overlook that part because it's ultimately what they do in the background. They want no one to pay attention to all this shit that happens, but that's the important shit. If you're not paying attention to the foundation that's currently sinking into the ocean, but you're expecting me to live on the house that's on top of it, how can you justify any of the bullshit you're doing? You can't. If it's a weak, flimsy excuse for making this shit in the first place, because there was really no reason outside of making more money that they made the Xbox One. And on top of that, changing culture to the disgusting state it is now. When you realize that, you see the truth. Anyway, thanks for watching.